Power is transient. And so when we have power, sometimes we should be very mindful of how we deal with our fellow human being.
Yeah.
When it started, we saw the FDA side, or we heard the FDA side of the story. Right. And now that judgment has been served, we didn't treat Tobinco well. At all, because this was abuse of power.
We put people in office not to serve their personal agenda, but the national interest of the country.
Why do we always have to do that? Why? Because he says he thought that the man was MPP.
To listen to the account of Tobinco, you get the sense that he met a man who was on a personal vendetta. He met a man who wouldn't even listen to reasoning.
What I realized at that time was that I saw that the media was so powerful. He was basically using the media platforms to fight. The instruments and things that he should have collected from the Minister of Health then, that woman, what's her name? Sherry Aiti. He didn't take anything from her. She went on the media stations, the TV, radio stations, and just showing them the product that these products are fake. So what we also did was going battle with him on the same grounds.
Is this why you set up Atinka Media?
That's later. I saw how powerful the media is. I saw that people can just destroy your whole career. And that also brought in other subsidiaries. I didn't intend to have all these subsidiaries of all this school and all this insurance and companies and all that. But I saw that this country is not safe to have one company. If anybody get up and crash your company, you'll be out of business.
The court has ordered FDA to pay Tobinco Pharmaceuticals a whopping 93 million Ghana cedis. And you know when these judgment debt ruling come, is you and I, our taxpayers' money that suffers. Kingsley.
Yes.
What do you make of this whole ruling?
I think justice has been served because they went through the process. Right. And I like the fact that Tobinco even went to the court to start with. The whole issue was all over the place until the judgment came, and now we are seeing the full picture of the whole issue. Right. I think, like the popular saying goes, power is transient. And so when we have power, sometimes we should be very mindful of how we deal with our fellow human being. Not to
cut you, just for our viewers, the ruling was about FDA seizing and destroying unexpired drugs imported into the country by the Tobinco pharmaceutical companies. So this is how come this whole judgment and ruling is coming, just for the benefit of our viewers.
Great.
So go on.
So this whole issue started somewhere around 2013.
Yeah.
When it started, we saw the FDA side, or we heard the FDA side of the story. Right. And now that judgment has been served, we are getting to know the Tobinco side of issues. Yeah. If you compare the two, then I think that we didn't treat Tobinco well. At all, because this was abuse of power. I don't know how else to say it, because the CEO of FDA then was just abusing his powers. And
the person of Dr. Opuni.
Yes, right. Yes. Right. Sometimes when we have power, we should be mindful of how we treat our fellow human beings. I was watching Tobinco's interview on The Point of View the other day, and how he was even describing the situation, and even when he was invited to the FDA, how the whole department heads were seated around a table in the conference room, and the CEO then, which is Dr. Opuni, banging the table, telling him how he would destroy him, how he would bring him down. Why do we always have to do that? Why? Because he says he thought that the man was MPP.
But, even so again, it's very troubling that we put people in office not to serve their personal agenda, but the national interest of the country. So if you, a CEO, you are there, and to listen to the account of Tobinco, you get the sense that he met a man who was on a personal vendetta. He met a man who wouldn't even listen to reasoning. And that is very worrying for me.
And now that judgment has been served and the state, like you said in your intro, we have to pay 93 million Ghana cedis to Tobinco.
Yes.
You are seated somewhere. Look at the mess we are in now as a country, and we still have to cough up 93 million Ghana cedis. That could have taken someone to university for free. In fact, 20 people.
You know, we would go into strengthening institutions, how we can strengthen institutions so we don't face these losses. But it looks like it's not everyone that is agreeing with us. There are other school of thought out there saying that this is a collusion between the government, this current government, and Tobinco to rape the state of 93 million Ghana cedis. These are other thoughts too.
Regardless,
and you know,
regardless.
They are, so before we go into how we can strengthen our institution, these are some of the questions they are asking after these rulings have come out. That why did Tobinco wait till 2019 to file this complaint? Why is the company seeking compensation from 2015 and not 2013 when the goods were confiscated? Who is the witness that was called in that court case? What is the quantity of drugs Tobinco imported and what quantity was not good? So these are
my
questions.
answer to everything you have just asked is crime, they say, does not have expiry date. And
interesting.
all I am
Drugs
trying
and
to
expiry date.
all I'm trying to say is that we shouldn't victimize people because we think they are on the other side. Same happened to Dr. Indu. Let's not forget.
Yes.
No matter how wrong he did with managing them, he could have been taken off. He could have been taken off the board or whatever management that was in place then, and just bring other people in just to safeguard the people who are in there or the people who are employed in that organization. But what did we do? We rather brought the banks down, and then we rather spent more than
what we could have used to save that sector. So it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It make sense. Like a Gen Z would say.
Make it make sense.
We victimize people. And like I was saying, if the Tobinco man then truly, like they said, that he brought in maybe expired products and all of that, was that the best way? Did you see how they use the media to just tarnish the man's image?
I mean, that news was all over.
And he even said in the interview that this was the reason why he even came up with other companies, because in Ghana, when you have just one company and you are crashed, that will be the end of you. And then we will turn around to mock you.
Do you agree that in Ghana here, when you have just one company, you wouldn't survive, you wouldn't make it? Countries that have been great, countries that are great today, were built by CSOs, institutions. Why? Because all they had to do was strengthen those institutions. So how do we as a nation strengthen such institutions so they are strong and that they can insulate themselves from influences from politicians, external forces, and all of that?
It comes back to the Bible we are using as a country. The Constitution, I can't say this or overemphasize on this. Right. The Constitution is our bane, is our problem as a country, because the president has so much power.
Appointing power.
So much power. An institution like FDA, why should the president be the one to appoint its MD or CEO? Why? Why should the president be the one to handpick somebody who has sometimes no knowledge about food, drugs, registration? Because, Charlie, they are doing chemistry and biology there.
Yeah.
Have you gone there to register a product before?
No. But me, if I go there, I want to be vetted and approved by the FDA.
Charlie?
That squad. Vetted and approved.
You won't know the FDA language until the product you sent there, there's something wrong with it. The carbon monoxide, something. And Ghana's FDA is one of the best in the world. Right. If we continue to run it this way, then it means that it's going to be just another political agency that does things without the due procedure, because it's a very technical agency.
Right.
Like you're saying, the last time we were having a discussion with Emmanuel, and he was even saying that, why don't we as a country come up with a bipartisan committee, say parliament,
Right.
with both MPP and NDC people on the same committee, come up with a structure to say, we are putting this laid down procedure. Get a CEO or to get to the CEO position, you have to maybe serve 15 years. You must have maybe served this,
Where you
that,
rise through the rank.
and
Even
not to
that one,
leave
you
it to
even
just the
have push it.
president.
Right.
Because the president is appointing the board. He is appointing the CEO. And
just too much.
when he doesn't like you and you have a food or you have a drug product, I can easily frustrate you.
Yeah, and then we'll be suffering judgment debts
Yes.
such as this.
Now that we are paying, you are in your house cooling off. But somebody has to make sure that this is paid. Because if you delay, the interest will continue to
It's
compound.
compiling. Right. You know, and I absolutely agree with you. And I feel like even if we can translate this practice into other institutions and agencies, reduce the president's appointing powers so that the institution. There was a video circulating of a policeman, I think Inspector Gozo or something, where he was, doing a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation of how,
IGPs are selected
to keep
and
the
how,
police service independent.
Yeah.
And you see how they haunted him. It's crazy.
It's sad though. I've even forgotten about it.
Yeah, so really, even if we want to strengthen the institutions and there are a lot of human interference, how can we achieve this?
Maybe it should start from you and I. Can we come up with, say, a pressure group to start a constitutional review pressure group? We can even call it that, a constitutional review pressure group. Because our problem is in Ghana's constitution. Like I always say, Rawlings is Okunfu Dumfu. He came to help us, but he didn't help us because when we were transitioning from military rule to democracy, everything was made about one man, and the president shall, and with the approval of the president, and the president shall. But 30 years has passed, and we are still 30 years. We are still using this constitution and making one person so powerful that an institution like FDA must be politically appointed. And when they come there and they point you and say, you are MPP and you own an FMCG product, we can bring you down just because we think you are MPP or you are PPP.
You don't build a nation like that.
Why?
You can't build a nation like that.
We are not going anywhere.
It has to be all inclusive. So I totally agree with you. It has to start from you and I. I think we are at a time where Ghanaians have to take charge of their future, their destiny. Because clearly these politicians have shown us that if we leave it to them, they would always serve their interest and their party interest. So this is a clarion call to every Ghanaian to be interested in the management of this country. And I agree that we should reduce the president's appointing powers and strengthen institutions and the CSOs too. Do you feel the CSOs are doing enough for this country?
Who is the CSO?
We have a lot of them who, well, unfortunately,
Someone's father.
they are quiet under this regime as compared to previous regime. How loud they were.
I have a problem when people say they've gone quiet. What is a CSO? Civil society organization. You can create one.
Right.
I can create one.
Right.
Why are we waiting for one particular CSO to make a statement when something happens?
Maybe because of the effect they had at the time.
Times have changed.
Right.
Can you hold them to it that they are CSOs and they must talk by force?
No.
Yes. Some of the people who are leading some of the CSOs and pressure groups have taken appointments in this current government.
So we've lost the fight.
We've not lost the fight, but it's up to us, like you're saying, Ghanaians, let's be interested. Let's not wait for Occupy Ghana. Let's not wait for
Kumi
Preko. Let's not wait for AFAG. Let's not wait for... You can create yours. I can create mine. We can come together. We can do something. But if we are waiting for them, we've been waiting for them for 8 years. Nothing has happened.
I'm just happy how Kingsley is sounding very Ghanaian today. Well, we like to see more of this. This has been Sauce and Pepper. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Till we meet again next time, we're out.